little disclaimer, just to let you know, there will be some minor spoilers for some of the miscellaneous missions in the game. We don't talk too much about the main quest lines, but if you don't want to be spoiled by what's in the Mantis, Red Mile, or even the Paradiso Lost Signal, then please enjoy the first few minutes before we start talking about the Mantis mission. Thank you for understanding.
Hello, Space Lords. Welcome to Space Skyrim, the Starfield podcast, episode 3. My name is Potato, and I'm with my good friend Alice. How you doing, Alice?
Hello, my pronouns are she, they, and if you've been through this far and listening to our nonsense experiences, despite the bad review scores, then much happy to have you on board. So this week, we're pretty much like going to tap into the missions, but we haven't made a lot of notes this time around because the first few weeks are just pretty much like wild with the early access, but now we're just starting to tone down and just like play the game as we should be doing. So, yeah.
In our leisure time. I mean, that's the one thing I wanted to say to people with this game is that you should just take your time with it and enjoy it. Like, I think a lot of people, give it like a 7 out of 10 or whatever on scores because they've rushed it and they've had to rush it. They've got like 2 weeks to complete the whole game and get everything out of it. But I don't think that's how you should play this game at all. I think you should take your time and savor it and just enjoy it.
Yeah,
enjoy yourself, guys. This game's not going anywhere. You can spend years playing this and just enjoy it.
To be honest, I think it's just the case of like reviews trying to influence how you enjoy the game, and it's just like reading the news when it comes to like how you feel about yourself. Well, just like how you deal with the news and deal with things inside your control. Just don't pay attention to the reviews and just enjoy Starfield. Just like me, like even if I'm exposed to 7s and 4s around, I'm still like trying to build outpost farms, which in the moment I've made so much magnets, gained so many levels that I'm still going through planets way on Venus and sell for lots of credits to build my fancy ship. Although I already wasted a lot of credits to build a cargo ship that has all that storage.
Yeah, I've done the same thing. I got a massive cargo ship with loads of storage. The Nakamura has now become a massive cargo ship. It's like, I think in the last episode I was saying about how it's a multi-story build. It's like a 2-story building, but now I've got rid of a load of the habitats to stay in. I've just added extra storage. So it's a big ship, but there's only like 3 or 4 bedrooms in it. The beds, the rest is just storage. It's got like 2,000 plus storage, and I got some of it is what's it called? Contraband storage as well, which I thought was interesting. Before we get too much into what we've been like our experiences in Skyrim, damn, in Starfield. You did want to mention that there's been a massive update that's just come out for it, and we wanted to cover that, but like as almost like breaking news.
Well, actually, I think it just came out, and it's basically to do the hotfixes. So I don't know if it means like getting rid of some potentially like game-breaking bugs. Because there's already one that is with the Crimson Fleet and it's to do with the mission, which is Rook and King or some sort. That one can actually glitch out and could not let you to complete it. So I wonder if the hotfix is pretty much there for that, as well as a few bugs there.
Ooh, I've done that mission. What was the issue then? Because I've done that mission. I didn't have any issues with it at all. So I'd love to know what the issue was, if it says.
Yeah, I just like pipped it out and just like... I'll just look on the hotfix for Starfield, but the best way to deal with it is that I think it's something to do with like how you interact with the people and sell stuff. But the good thing is, if you make saves before it, then you should be able to like complete it properly. Oh yeah, there we go. There's a hotfix there, and that's coming to Xbox and PC. It says here, it has improved stability related to installations, as well as fairer stability and performance improvements to reduce crashes and improve frame rate. I mean, I only had like 2 crashes during my 60-hour gameplay, so that's very positive. Then there's quests where all that money can buy has a fixed issue where the player activity could result in a quest blocker. There's Into the Unknown, fixed the issue that could prevent the quest from appearing after the game is completed. And Shadows in Neon, fixed the issue where player activity could result in a quest blocker. So that's good. But I think it seems as if it doesn't fix every single quest. So if you've got a problem with the quest, make some noise about it and get Professor to know, and they will actually eventually fix those quests. Otherwise, just make sure you have saves with you just before you get to do the quest. And if you have a problem with it, reload and try again.
I would always recommend if you're playing the game and you're like, oh, I don't think I've saved it for like 3 hours, or I don't feel like I've saved it like recently. Just pop a quick save. It literally takes you 2 seconds. I always do that. Just pop a quick save. You never know when you're going to need it. It's always useful to maybe be able to go back if something goes wrong. So I agree. I think it's always helpful to have an extra save there, just to be safe. And there's nothing wrong with going back to an older save if you get stuck.
Well, funny enough, I did complete the space station by the moon, which is the lunar of Earth, and I was beating it. Then I realised there's a mission that involves going to that same space station, and it's just basically made all the enemies respawn. And I thought that's a cool way of doing it. But yeah, I think it's best not to belittle the fact that there's going to be quest bugs, and it could happen to anybody. But it just depends if you're lucky enough.
Oh, yeah.
But at least Bethesda is doing something about it, and that's trying to fix any game-breaking bugs that anyone brings up with. But apart from that, the game remains polished, even though there's still bugs in the game. So just keep your eye out for it.
So pretty much the missions you've just listed there that they've got bug fixes for, I think I've done most of them, and I haven't had any bugs in any of them. So it's possible that it's just basically people are very unlucky with these ones. So you might be able to complete the whole game without any issues whatsoever. So, but yeah, just don't I'm trying not to worry people. Basically, just don't panic. Don't panic.
Anyway, so the Bethesda also announced that there will be more updates, which they will finally be bringing out brightness and contrast controls, HDR calibration menu, field of view slider, which at the moment you had to get a mod for it. NVIDIA DLSS support, which people seem to think as if it's a AMD partnership that prevents this feature from happening. And on PC, you get ultra-wide monitor support for up to 32 by 9. And you can now have an eat button for food, which according to this paragraph here, the food ET button sounds minor, but it will turn food from 100% pointless to I think it's trying to get the simpler detail here. Oh yeah, it's just it's just someone saying, oh, you can restore health and stuff like that. But yeah, there will be a food button where you can eat any kind of food without going to the inventory. So let's see how that goes. But if you find it really useful, let us know in the comments.
I think it's nice that we're getting some updates already. The game's only just come out and we're already getting some patches, which is great. Hopefully they're going to be supporting this game for another 10 years or so, and we're going to get plenty of these little patches, I hope.
They're also interested to do updates to introduce more cities to Starfield, and they will be introducing the creation mod support which is similar to Skyrim and Fallout 4, and will be adding it to Starfield in the near future, so that would be good.
So is that all really we wanted to cover when it comes to this update? And,
that's right. And also in the main podcast, I think it was yesterday, but we have discussed about mods of Starfield, where we already went through the huge list, and in the notes I say there will be there's a mod for adding stormtroopers to the game, so that's really interesting. But if you listen to the main podcast, you'll definitely have a lot of mods, and we cover things like Star UI and underlaid menus as well. So if you haven't had a chance to check it out, and I might even have a highlight ready for you to check out the mods covered in Starfield.
Ooh. And there's also a nice little mod about Sarah's ass being nice and round for the people's attention. because he was episode 69 of the Xbox the Box podcast as well. We also talked about who we would bang, a.k.a. who we're romancing in the game. I mean, don't want to go into too much detail. Go watch the podcast if you want to hear us talk more into DL about it. I'm currently going after... I can't pronounce her name. Anaja. I don't know. But I'm currently going after her, but I might go gay for Barrett, because Barrett's cool. Andrew, yeah. Let's go gay for Barrett. That should be like the new tagline for the game.
Yeah.
But no, good fun. We're enjoying this game way too much. But yeah, so let's talk about let's just talk about our experiences in Starfield. I'm looking at the notes.
The discoveries are that, I met Sam Coe, and then I realised that you talked about him in episode 2. Very meme-worthy.
I did, yeah. Yeah, he annoyed me a little. He was getting on my nerves, so I put him on Earth with the annoying fan. Just left those two alone on Earth. They just abandoned them. They annoyed me. I used to like Sam Coe. I was like, he was on a lot of missions with me as my backup, but he just kept asking me the same stuff over and over and over again. And then his daughter would just keep coming in going, "Hey guys, I wrote a haiku. It's a new poem." It's like, yeah, you said this yesterday. Why are you repeating yourself? Shut up. I don't know you made a haiku. I don't care about your bloody haiku, woman.
Well, shortly after you talked about him in episode 2, I just went through the Constellation missions, going through, got the extra power, and stopped there. But when I just got to do the mission, it involves I think it was going through a temple or some sort like that. I don't remember. But I think it definitely involves going to a.k.a. city, which you go into the cave, kill a lot of people, and then there was a band of people there, and just trying to sort them out with them. And then I was able to persuade her. Then a bunch of creatures attacked, and then I killed the creatures. Then it's oh, thank you for doing that. Now buzz off.
a.k.a. City is essentially cowboy world for people who don't know. It's like the cowboy city.
It's so much of a cowboy city that I even saw one of the cowboys jump right in the air as I entered Antica City.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
It's on YouTube for you to check out.
That's one of the videos. That's on our YouTube channel. Yeah, you should also turn that into a short, because that would be funnier as a short. But just said.
But anyway,
love this game
after
so much.
I completed the mission, I get the choice to have Sam Coe as a companion, which it was with Andrea as a companion. But I think I found him to be a bit easier. But it's even better because he's voiced by the person that I recognise. So do you know who voiced him?
Ooh. Is it Adam Jensen from Deus Ex?
He's voiced by Alias 2 Fexis, who's also known as Adam Jensen from the Deus Ex Human Revolution and Mankind Divided. So, and you can instantly recognise this Adam Jensen there. And it's wow, that's really cool. It's nice to hear that person again.
That is cool.
And it's nice that this guy's got more voice acting roles too. So it's really a huge treat when it comes to playing Starfield.
Oh yeah, for sure. I thought it was interesting as well. I did mention this to you last night. I was comparing our achievement list. We've both been playing it about the same amount of hours. You got more achievements than me, which you're bragging about, which is fair enough. But we got totally different achievements. It's hilarious, and we've done we played this game so differently to each other. I've just all I've done is the Crimson Fleet storyline and the main story, and you've been doing the United Colonies and the Freestar Collective stuff, right? I mean, is that correct? I haven't done any of the Freestar Collective or the United Colonies yet. I need to go back and do them. Do you think they're good stories? Are you enjoying those ones? Because I'm loving the Crimson Fleet stuff. I think that stuff is awesome.
Well, I'm actually grinding to get a higher level, and then once I get to a certain point before reaching a certain level, I just go back to I will go back to the questlines and have an easier time. So, what level are you still? Because I noticed you haven't reached level 25 still.
I'm level 19, I think. I think I'm level 19.
It is though.
No, I've been enjoying myself. I knew you were going to say that. I'm trying my best. I was saying this to you earlier. I did this mission called Mantis, which I'd highly recommend anyone would do this mission. It's a really cool side mission. And you unlock some really cool stuff for doing it as well. I'm not going to say what you unlock, but it's totally worth doing. Saying that, it's in like the outer colonies. You got to fly through like multiple. You got to do multiple grav jumps to get there. And then I got to the place, and every enemy was level 30 plus. And it took me absolutely ages to do it because I was under-leveled. But as soon as I got through it, it was totally worth it, and it's definitely worth doing. Recommend anyone try it if you think you're confident enough in it. The game, I feel like this game is very easy. That's probably one of the things I'd say about this game is it is a bit easy.
Well, why not just put it to very hard then?
If you want a nice challenge, I might do at some point. But yeah, it's like if you want a nice challenge, check out the Mantis mission, and you unlock a lot of really cool stuff for completing it, and it's all really worth your time, honestly. And I would recommend it. It's one of my favourite side missions in the whole game for sure. And then I'm still doing the Crimson
before you go on to Crimson Fleet stuff. Yes, I second on the Mantis stuff because I completed it too. So I was traveling Samco, and I'm like, his daughter Cora is like saying, "Oh, cool! How cool that the Mantis is," and bits like that. And after learning, like it offers a ship and some suits, I'm like, "Oh, you know what? I'm just gonna go in."
Well, there you go.
So I just go in, like killed people with the knife, legendary life that gives free med kits. But I thought, oh, there's too many enemies. I'm gonna take out my shotgun with a mod that has exploding pellets there, so I just blew everyone up.
Yeah,
and then I just went through. No, literally, like when you fire a shotgun, it creates explosions on the ground.
Yeah, I got that one. I got that. I got mine, which is like a coachman. I think it does that. I think that's what the cool. Shotgun I got. Like legendary shotgun does that too. Anyway, go ahead.
So I just went through, killed everyone, and then I've been listening to all this dialogue, and it turns out that the mother of someone who's like also the hero Mantis, and they're like, oh wow, looks like a bat cave, so I've got a free ship. And also there's a ship that where it's every YouTuber's favorite suit. It's like a white apron over baggy trousers with a funny looking helmet, and that's what everyone like wears. It just like reduces the cost of resources. It allows people to be set on fire, and it's great. The only thing is about is that compared to other legendary gear, the Mantis suit is like much heavier.
Yeah, I do love the fact that I said I did the Mantis mission, and you unlock some really cool stuff, and I'm not going to tell you what it is, and then you go, you unlock this, and you unlock this. I was like, oh, okay, never mind then. Spoilers for the Mantis mission, guys, I'm sorry.
Well, I think everyone knows by now, because there's also another reward for completed 3-star crest, which is also one of the best ships again. But yeah, you just get a ship that's like A-class, but does a job and makes you look cool, so it's a nicely done ship, so it's like quite good.
Yeah, so I think it's a cool ship, and I definitely want to try and do some more with it. I'm wearing that armor as we speak. That's my go-to armor at the moment, because
but anyway,
the Mantis mission is really worth doing if you get a chance, but obviously it is one of the harder missions early on in the game. You can do it, just make sure you got plenty of supplies.
I just blasted through it, alright.
Yeah, it is.
Did die a few times, so...
I know, but you just got just multiple saves, make sure you got plenty of ammo. It's not too hard. As I said, it wasn't too hard. I managed to do it when I was super under-leveled. It's like 20 levels under-leveled for it, but I still managed to do it quite easily.
You did say you were like level 18, right?
Yeah, I was level 12 when I did it, though.
Well, guess...
18 now. Because it leveled me up twice while I was on it, which is nice as well. Which is if you want to level your character up quite quickly, it's also worth doing the Mantis level for that as well, because it's quick leveling up.
Because I did the Mantis mission, but guess how far I'm into the game in terms of a level?
Oh, I don't even know anymore. 50?
Even higher.
Oh, God. Been farming.
It's 67.
Oh, 2 away from greatness.
I was going to reach level 70 and then I can do some crests, because I think I already reached the point where, I just want to play the game, because what I've been doing for hours, and this already made less notes, is that I've been doing outpost farms. I've got a farm for cobalt and nickel, which gives me plenty of experience. Just as long as you wait 5 hours in Venus, you can get enough to get 5 levels. But but you still end up with plenty of magnets for you to sell and get more credits. And it's just leads to one of the nuisances that once you get enough, you got plenty of magnets to sell, so you have to sell all of this to every trade authority building you can think of, as well as other vendors that will take magnets. Wait for about a few days of in-game time, and then you can sell them all again. But even say, you still get loads of money to get yourself a special ship.
So you just farming the hell out of that. I'm just like, no. I got like stacks and stacks of water and aluminium in my ship, and they're just taking up all my storage, and I'm like, I don't know what to do with this. It's too much, and I can't even sell it. Like, I sell it, and it's like 1 credit per thing. I can't be bothered selling it, and I can't turn it into anything that's worthwhile either. So I'm just like, well, this is annoying. Well,
the magnets I made when the last time I did that, waited 500 hours of universal time, went over to the Potatochief camp to create all this. There's a way in which you can read that button, so you can hold down the white on the thumbstick and hold down LT that does the white on the D-pad, and then I got a button where you can press instead of RB to like spam it and like reach to level 90. Well, I mean over to 99 magnets in like 2 seconds. It gives me about in 7 minutes you get like 5 levels, which is cool, and that's when I got the XP boost. Then I got the magnets that should be worth about 120,000 credits.
Right. That's a lot. Farming like mad.
But anyway, so I've been doing that, and also I've been building farms, trying to build farms where I'm trying to get a farm that does neodymium and helium-3, doing the interlinks and trying to find a camp for tungsten and titanium, and then finally getting copper, silver, and gold. And once I get all those built up, because I'm following a tutorial to do this, but it takes a lot of hours to do, and this will give you 3 times more experience by creating all the special items that every time you make it, instead of 1 XP for the isolated magnets, you get like 3 XP for doing those special things, and this will give you 60,000 XP per, I think it was per hour or per minute, I'm not sure, but it depends. If you're on PC it's fast, but on Xbox it's much slower, but you get 3 times more experience than like nickel and cobalt.
That's a lot of stuff to taking. I'm just playing the game normally. You've got all these farms and stuff going. I'm just playing the story at the moment, and I've just got too much materials that are just going to waste and just taking up space in my cargo hold. That I'm like, oh.
If you hear my story, you can definitely tell I come from Cornwall because of tin mining and whatnot.
Yeah, I'm a Welsh boy. We're miners as well.
Well,
from the mines.
For the same person that did that tutorial, there's another video where you make 140,000 XP per minute, at least on the PC.
Ooh.
This builds on the last farm, and if you make the one that allows you to build some superpowered magnets, you get like even more XP and helps you get through to like level 500, and it's just still insane. So like, wow.
So that's all you've been really doing this farming then. I've just been doing the story stuff.
So you were saying about the Crimson Fleet, right?
That's my go-to story, is I've been doing Crimson Fleet and main story. I heard, as you said earlier, I heard there's a really cool ship for beating the Freestar Collective, and I haven't even started the Freestar Collective yet. I'm like tempted just to start it just so I can get that ship. But I'm like, I'll just stick to what I'm doing at the moment. Because what I wanted to do, I mean, it's not really a spoiler, but it's kind of a spoiler. I don't know. I was going to just basically complete the Crimson Fleet, complete the main story, and then do New Game Plus.
Yes.
And I was hoping to do like Freestar Collective, United Colonies and all that, and do that in my second playthrough. That's what I was thinking of doing, instead of doing everything in the first playthrough and then doing a New Game Plus and then losing it all. I just thought I'd do just the Crimson Fleet and just the main story on the first playthrough, and then the second playthrough do everything else. That's what I was thinking. But
to all the listeners there, this why here is that it will be very spoilery because it's got story spoilers associated with it. You can look this up about New Game Plus if you want to, but that is also a topic for the future episode that once we get to...
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you how it works because I've not done too much research. I've not done too much research on it. All I know is that you just basically have to start everything over, basically. You keep your stats and that's about it. So... yeah, I thought I want to do a New Game Plus because everyone says it's worthwhile doing, so I'm definitely going to do it. So I think I'm going to complete the main story, and then complete the Crimson Fleet, and then I might just move to New Game Plus then after that, which would be fun to do, and do some other stories with it. There's so much stuff to do in this game, it's just crazy though. Because me and you have both been playing it for hours and hours and hours on end, and we've both done totally different story stuff, which is amazing.
I'm going to get enough perks, or possibly get all perks before you do New Game Plus. But until then, it's just like doing bit stat. And once I reach level 70, I can continue doing main quest lines. But that doesn't stop me for doing more missions. Like, for the past week, I stolen 2 ships thanks to the targeting thing and the missions. And that's cool. So you said about like destroying the engines. Using the targeting computer is a huge boon. Got rid of the engines, and it's now much easier to dock those ships and steal them. So that's really wicked.
Yep.
Funny enough, I built a cargo ship and I put weapons there. And even if it's got a lack of mobility, you can still like destroy ships with it. Even if you're a cargo ship, you can still destroy ships.
Well, there's a video online, I don't know if you've seen this, that someone built a ship that has a button, essentially got a giant hole in the middle of it, so it's like a donut-shaped ship, basically. And the game was designed so it only hits the middle of your ship, so no shots ever hit the ship. So essentially, it's invincible, so you can fly around with no shield or anything and just literally fly around with the ship and it doesn't get hit at all, because it's designed to... well, maybe that might be something they might have just patched out with our new patch. But yeah, that was something that someone come around, made a glitch to do, which is hilarious. I think that's a really cool idea. Just making a donut ship to avoid getting shot.
Yes. But anyway, so I did that. Also, went over to Neon. Like, what I did is as I mentioned in the main podcast, I went to Paradiso and trying to get this special tea because it's needed for the last research project. But at the same time, I just saw people in their swimming costumes and I thought I need to get one of these. But it's not sold anywhere. So the only way you can do that is like you go into one of the special houses and then you have to sneak in and steal one of the swimsuits there. This is the only way you do that. So I told the Samco to wait outside, steal a swimsuit, and yeah, that's what I got. Then I just want to make sure it doesn't have a stolen tag, because if you get arrested, you have it taken away. So I went over to a trade authority, has to be done in person, not the panel computer, and then you sell it, then you buy it back, and it gets rid of the security tag. So that's cool.
And I always say like that clean, it's like cleaning the security tag off it. I think like there's so many little hints and tips that you could come up with and tell to people. We should maybe do a hints and tips video at some point, because there's so much.
Oh, it's
ridiculous. There's so many little hidden things.
We got plenty of ideas for more vids. But let's focus on what we got in the notes. With that technique, I went over to Neon. It was part of the Tech Industries there. But if you go into like Neon and sneak around, you can get a Rikishashi sword, which is like a katana, only shorter. And it's actually one of the coolest weapons in the game that is effective. So normally you had to learn pickpocketing, so you can sneak over to behind the account. I think it was a shop assistant of some sort. If you pickpocket for a card and then you just open the door and get in, you can like sneak through and then you can get the sword. It's not that bad. People like chill with me going around, but when I crouch down and then open the weapon case behind someone's back, I just grab the sword and then that's mine. No trouble at all. But what I did is that because I didn't have pickpocketing back then, it's just as easy as using the boost pack to climb up the building and reach the entrance at the very top of the building. And then I just proceeded down there. So it's much easier than like trying to pickpocket for a card or key.
Yeah, I haven't got pickpocketed either. I've got the ability, so when I sneak around, it says if I'm being detected or not. but I haven't got the pickpocketing ability yet, which is something I need to definitely do.
That's
for
one
sure.
of the bad things about it. Is that sneaking and pickpocketing are not on by default. You have to grab 2 perks in order to activate them, and I just feel like they have to put many of the features behind such a wall that you have to unlock more perks to get them. Also, I'm not a fan of some of the perks, and these are like a bit too rudimentary, which is something I would get through once I reached a high level and I can do a tier list of all the perks. But that's another idea for what I can do for YouTube.
That'd be a fun tier list, actually. I would like to see that. which perks are good and which ones are not. Yeah, I'm still like on the first level of like tiers for most of them. Like, I'm level 18, 19, so I've got like loads of tiers. I've still got loads of stuff to unlock, and I've barely touched the surface. You know,
I put a lot of skill points into the tech and science trees, but hardly put any points into like combat and physical, which I started to unlock some of the perks. But before I reach level 100, I would be tempted to start putting in points to unlock the rest of the perks, so I can gain experience when I'm doing that. Like, you can't just like power level. You have to do the challenges with the perks. Yeah. So you can use the points to get more perks.
I like that. Actually,
you like that? Mm.
Yeah. I like it because it gives you motivation. It gives you something to do, and also, as you said, you can't just spam it and power level. You have to actually use your perks and actually make use of it. So I kind of like it, to be honest. I think it's a clever way of doing it, but there's so many perks to like build up. It's ridiculous. It's like you got like 4 or 5 pages of perks, and each one has a row of 5 at the top, and then into that 4, then another 4, then another 4, then 3, and then each of those can be leveled up 4 different times. It's like, god damn, there's a lot of perks to level up here. I think someone said that you have to be like level 300 or something to get every single perk.
Yeah,
if I remember correctly, something ridiculous like that. Mad, absolute madness.
Now I don't know what other stuff you got on your notes, but there's a couple of missions I love to go through. There's a mission which is called the Foot. I just say it's Das Boot mission. So what happens is that when I was like trying to sell my stuff off and checked out, there's another shop there, and turns out someone's complaining about the boots they bought and want to return them, and it's just like, I just want to get rid of them. Been put in there somewhere, and then someone else like picked it up. And he feels that these boots are very unlucky, so he wants me to get rid of them in the den, which is in this Wolf solar system. So I got the unlucky boots, which is in the inventory, miscellaneous, I think. So I just went over to the den, which is in the Wolf system, and then you don't have to sneak over, you just go around to the box. But as I went to the box, I got interrupted by someone and says like, "Oh, that's nice boots. I'll buy them for 500 credits." It's like, I'm not sure if I would sell them. So I just like, probably better to get rid of them because they're unlucky. So it's like, whatever, it's your loss. So I just put in the boots and get rid of them. And then when I came back to someone else, they said like you get 2,500 credits. I got about 37 credits for getting rid of the boots, so it's like quite good. Okay,
I've not done this mission yet. It's such a random mission idea. So you got to get rid of boots, unlucky boots.
There's the alternative outcome that if you do get rid of if you do sell the boots to someone, you can still lie and get the credits from the one who gives you the boots. But when you return to the same point where you sell the boots to someone, he's been wearing them and then gets crushed by a crate. So it's just like, wow.
Oh, Jesus. That's kind of funny. So they are unlucky then. That's hilarious. I mean, spoilers for people who want to do that mission. I haven't done it yet.
There's also funny. Another fun mission. That
sounds hilarious.
I went to the Paradiso to grab some special tea. Then I noticed there's one of the things where I had to talk to a certain security chief, like chat to him. And it says there's a mysterious signal coming from the ship, and it could be aliens. I'm like, okay. The Paradiso CEO wants to like turn it into attraction, so I just went over the ship. It's like scrambled, and I thought, oh, hello, my name's Alice, and check it out. So I just went into the ship and docked it, And when I came in, I discovered there's a crew there who came from 200 years ago. The same people who travelled from Earth.
Jesus, I mean, spoilers. I haven't done this one yet. I need to do this one as well. This is a really good missions by the sound of it. You know, a load of random missions that I've not even seen yet, which is hilarious. Have you... there's a thing that me and you have been seeing a lot of as well. We both got the parenting perk to have the, like, was it kid? I can't remember what it's called now.
That's
kid survey.
Yeah, I also need to finish talking about the mission. Sorry, it's just.
Okay.
When I do that, I just talk to the ship, and apparently they want some way to escape or get resources. So I went over to Paradiso and talk to the CEO, and he feels that he wants to keep them in, have them in a hotel, but because of a cost, they would rather have them as people working on their jobs. And like, okay. So, but the alternative is that you can get them a new graph lift. So I went over to someone in like Hope Tech, and they they can build a graph lift drive to help with the old ship, but it's going to set me back with 40,000 credits. I'm like, okay. So then I tried persuasion and succeeded it, but it cuts it down to like 25,000 credits to buy a new graph lift. I'm like, okay. I got enough money for it, so I paid for it, and then I helped the crew escape. So Sanko likes it and got some huge benefits with it, which is quite nice. But I have to admit, this is one of my favorite missions because it involves beating someone from the past, but also has a huge ramifications, and it's something you have to make some serious decisions, even if it means sacrificing your credits. So it's just like, wow, it's crazy.
I was hoping I could experience that one myself at some point, but it's fine, I'll do that. I was going to say about our parents. We've both had the same experience, that we've just been exploring, and then our parents have just shown up randomly. So we both saw them in Akira City, which is like the cowboy city. They're just like, I'm on vacation here. So okay, random. And then yesterday I was in Neon, in the nightclub where they sell all the drugs, and my parents are just there hanging out. It's like, what are you doing here? Why are you trying to get fish? Why are you trying to get high off Aurora fish? You like, what are you doing, Mum and Dad? What are you doing here?
I think he would rather play. He would rather play blackjack with hookers.
He loves his blackjack, don't he? Yeah, Dad.
Well, he played poker though.
He does play. Poker and blackjack. He plays a lot. It's funny. It's really funny. I think I really love that perk. I think this is a really fun game. There's just so many little things like that. Yeah, so I don't know if there's much more I can say. Like, I've been doing the main story as well, which is really cool. I finally got Barrett back because I just left Barrett for ages. I finally got him. But basically, I've got pretty much all of Constellation back now. So all the people who have gone, I got them all back, so that's cool. Hired a couple of people from the spaceport, so I just enjoy myself building ships and stuff and just chilling. I think it's a lot of fun. Just doing some side quests at Neon and stuff. I mean, what's your favourite city you've visited so far? Because I think Neon's my favourite.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Personally.
I don't know whether it's like Paradiso or Wolf or some sort, but I don't know, because so far I've visited 4 places that has a trade. I think, what's it called? It's Trading Union or Trade Federation.
Trade Union, yeah.
Those ones. I'm just trying to remember the cities I visited, because Neon is interesting. Because I've been to so many places, and I don't know, because New Atlantis is kind of reminds me of London in some aspects. Then Akita is just 100% Fallout. Yeah. And there's Neon, which is a pocket Cyberpunk 2077, but I think it just kind of feels more like I don't know. Blade Runner.
It feels like Blade Runner. It's very Blade Runner.
Oh,
which is why I like it. It's why it's probably my favorite city.
I think it just reminds me more of Guardians of the Galaxy. You know, the place called Nowhere.
Oh Oh, no way! Yeah, definitely that too. I like no. That's also one of my favorite films.
Yeah.
So, I always say Guardians of the Galaxy is my favorite Marvel film. Oh, I was going to mention as well. I knew there was something I wanted to mention. I forgot to mention so far. Have you done the Red Mile yet?
Which? No, I haven't done the Red Mile
The
yet.
Red Mile. The Red Mile's pretty good. It's I thought it was like a gang, like the Crimson Fleet or whatever, or the UNC or whatever, but it's not. The Red Mile is you go to this planet called you go to this far planet and you go to this place called the Red Mile, and it's essentially a gladiator kind of tournament thing where you've got to survive a mile run against all these monsters, and you've got like a leaderboard of people who have survived the longest, and basically you want to see if you can survive the Red Mile, and you get points for doing it and stuff like that. And it's got, as I said, it's got leaderboards and stuff. I already did one run of it so far, but you can do multiple runs and stuff to get your name up on the leaderboard and stuff. And it's essentially like blood sport. It's really cool. Sarah wasn't a fan of it. She's like, I don't like this at all. I don't wish we wouldn't not do this. I was like, shut up, Sarah.
Well,
but yeah, the Red Mile, highly recommend doing that. It's a lot of fun. And you get lots of credits for doing it as well. And it's it's a really cool area of the map. And I was not what I was expected. As I said, I thought it was going to be more like a new faction, but it was actually a blood sport, like the Hunger Games or whatever, or like gladiator tournament.
But anyway, so
it's really worth doing.
It does look like all the major cities and towns seem to be on the left hand side of the system. Like you only get like 4 major cities so far, but if you know any others you can find, let us know. But there's like New Atlantis, Aquila City, Neon, and the Key. Yeah, there's also New Homestead, Hopetown, Gagarian Landing, and Paradiso. But I think my favourite of all the towns there is like Sindonia, which feels more like what's it called? I think it's Total Recall, where you just go in. Like it's a bit run down mining facility, and it's on Mars. So
that's a good call, Total Recall. Yes. I love it. Good job to Mars. What are you doing? Yeah, that's a great film. Yeah, that's Sidonia is a good one. Like the mining settlement. Yeah, it's very bleak though.
I agree.
Yeah. It's like how it goes. Like, do you know? It like says how many days from it. It's like it's been 800 days since an incident has happened here. It's like, oh, that's cool. But apparently, if you kill someone, it goes back down to 0.
Yeah,
like the timer at the top. So that's hilarious. I mean, that's great. They like has that little touch on there. I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I mean, I don't want to go into too many spoilers. We're going to probably have a spoiler cast in the next couple of episodes, probably episode 6, I imagine. But we're obviously not going to go too much into spoilers before then. But yeah, if you have any like questions about Starfield or anything, like anything you want to like ask us about our experiences or anything, let us know in the comments below. We really appreciate that. We're loving this. We're loving this game so far. I still think this. It's between this and Tears of the Kingdom for my game of the year. I don't know if I can decide which one it is at the moment. I love both of them a lot. What you think?
Yeah,
what do you think of the game?
It's good. I'm still like trying to get into the game, but yeah, I've been really busy with projects and doing the editing as well. So, but I'm at the moment just me focusing on the farming and getting huge levels. But after that, it's just like trying to squeeze enough juice out of the first playthrough before I get to go into New Game Plus, and that's when I can like really get into Crimson Fleet and Riotech Industries, doing it on my own, because I also want to get the companion achievements out of the way before I can like work on the rest of the quests.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I want to get married, beat the Crimson Fleet, and beat the main story, and then I'm going to do New Game Plus and do the other side quests. Then, I think. But it's so much fun. It's a really good game. Highly recommend it. Definitely worth playing. I would, and we got mods, we got updates coming, we got mods coming, we got loads to look forward to. So I can't wait So I mean, is that it for this week's episode of Space? Yeah, well, thank you guys for listening to Space Skyrim episode 3. We will be back next week with some more shenanigans. Let us know in the comments below if you're enjoying the show, and let us know what faction you go with, who you banging in Starfield. Let us know in the comments below, all that stuff. Thank you guys for watching, and until next time, too sweet.
Bye.
Goodbye, Space Lords. Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the X Marks the Box podcast. Follow us at xmarksbox on Twitter or X Marks the Box on YouTube. And follow us on all audio podcast services. Thanks for listening.